Hello, good afternoon, welcome. Let us push buttons. Okay, let us crack on. So, plan today is obviously going to be get some steel going. Okay, these are actually still running. Everything had stopped running, so I wasn't sure. Now, where the devil are you taking this? And why are you picking up water from over there? We have water over here. Trucks are allowed to pick up from here. They're not allowed to import to here. It's a little bizarre. Where are you going, water truck? If we can find you again. There you are. Now that makes no sense whatsoever. You're allowed to export from here. Why the hell would you go all the way over there? Because it's a bigger tank? Having to micromanage everything. You're allowed to import. Let's set that back to auto. In fact, I might turn all of these off now that everything is running. We had it set to allow imports just so that we could get some whatchamathingy underway. Get the production underway because we were rebuilding some of this. And there's the return belt, so it's still full. Is it just that we have so much and we could really use a faster belt? Or is it that these are just so slow? It might just be the speed of these things. And we can build more of those, that's not too much of a problem. As long as this bit's keeping up. Oh, can Unity not go above 75? Ah, no, it can't go above 80. So there is a cap. That being the case, boost these. Right, so onto what we're actually going to be doing today. So we need more housing. Let's go there. That can get being built. We need this research on the way now. With that running, we're going to need these online again. Let's turn one of you off so we can turn that on. Okay. Did it cancel the building of all of the roads that I told it to build? Because we quit? No. it's still going to try to build them. That's fine. Guess that just means it's just going to take some time. Right, did you get loaded up with anything? Okay. You go deliver that. Now I was thinking of rerouting some of the water here, or changing how this works slightly. Taking this output pipe here and feeding it into the input here, rather than just have it here as an overflow. And that's probably a better idea than what we have at the minute. That being the case, then let's remove that. We'll bring it over and then under. Actually, there's a bridge here for a reason. So let's actually make use of it. Bring this to here. Here. Down and under. Not that one. Right idea, but no, not that one. No, not that one. No, not that one. Game, not that one. Not that one. Don't make me remove it. Not that one. That one. There we go. And pause that. That's the priority inputs. Okay, so now the overflow or the desalination pipe is fed in through there. Okay, looks like ship has delivered cargo to the settlement. Do we still have plenty of... I'd kind of like to let my resources rebuild up a bit. We're about capped on these. Well, how can we have twice the storage for that than that? Do we have other storage of that elsewhere? Ah, we have some in here. Let's get rid of these just random bits and pieces that are lying around. We won't dispose of those, but hopefully trucks will pick up from there first. That's what the priority thing is supposed to be for. Everything else looks fine. You bringing over full load? Good. Okay, we have our extra population building up. Good. In which case, let's allow some more population to spawn in. Now, why have we lost 50 Unity? Oh, because we turned the research lab on and that's 50. Well, for the time being, that's fine. This is about keeping up. So we may need to double the amount of these we have. Shouldn't need to mirror them anymore, but so that would go there, that would go there. And we've got a few more population than we don't really get enough vegetables to bother connecting those, so I think we just connect the U-shaped pipe up to here and here. Still means that this one's going to end up getting most of this stuff, but vegetables are higher up, so if we give you priority on vegetables, okay, and we could use more people coming and grabbing the fuel gas, because that's jamming the system. Slightly, at least. Fuel gas we can actually turn into diesel, but we'd need to, I think, crack water or separate water. Or is it air? Where's biofuel? Okay, it's an air separator. Mix the fuel with oxygen, we get diesel. And water. At the minute, we're just telling the fuel to go and be burnt, but it's being burnt on the other side of the map. And we'd need to vent off nitrogen again. It will probably fix itself once we have bigger trucks. That is our limiting factor at the moment. We actually don't need all of these running now. At least not for the time being. They produce 12 each. And these use 12 each. So long as we have 2 turned off, then let's do it this way around. There's a few spare workers back. We've already unpaused that. That's fine then. I was debating whether or not we should expand our iron production, but once we have steel up and running, it shouldn't matter, because we can convert one of our major usage of steel or iron over to steel mechanical parts, so we can make this adjustment. and make mechanical parts using steel instead, which will halve the amount we are using, or more than half the amount of iron that we are using. And we can also then enable recycling if we want to get back some scraps, which wouldn't be a terrible idea, but I haven't figured out where we're going to put that yet. And we can then feed biomass into a boiler to get some steam. But again, that is a trip that would have to come from the opposite side of the map. So I think we focus on this first. We're going to need to get this up and running anyway, because we need to get the construction parts, or the improved construction parts, so that we can trade them for glass. Doesn't tell us how much each of these cost. Again, the large trucks will be very helpful. Since it will triple the throughput of our trucks. I assume they will also cost more fuel, but at the minute fuel isn't a big issue. At least I don't think it is. Yeah, we're not even remotely close to maximum production most of the time. In theory, there's our maximum production, so we're at half our maximum production. Can we do anything with tree saplings other than simply planting them? Ah, we can turn them into biomass when we have too many. We need to tweak how we're handling this, but that's fine. Okay, that belt's clear now. So yeah, things are keeping up. I'm going to assume this is still getting water. Good. Alright, I'm just waiting on steel smelting to finish. Okay, we're about capped on these again. Let's actually send... We have finished upgrading it to... Oh, it's not back yet. It's still over here. Can't see it. I think we can probably take all of these on. Sulfur mine. Ah. We have found a world mine. There's something very quaint about the battle screen for the ship. It's not like you have any control over it. But it's very old school is probably the way that I'd phrase it. Can we deal with them? Depends on if they take our guns out, I suppose. No, focus down one ship. Don't spread the damage over two. Do you not know how this works? If you're up against two enemies, you kill one of them first to halve the amount of damage you're taking. This is how you survive longer in a fight. Unnecessary damage taken. Okay. Is there any general trades in here that I could, or would be worth me just doing rather than a minute? Where do we get access to fruit? Our other vitamin source? Ages away. And at that point we get access to cake. So the next food chain is soybeans. Which is more used in making biodiesel, isn't it? Yeah, oh no, cooking oil. Chicken farm. So one assumes that the chicken farm outputs eggs and chickens, or chicken meat and the innards. It's backing up a little again. I may need to make another one. Ah, we're also getting extra fertilizer. I suppose what I could do is... How much of this stuff is burnable? Yeah, soybeans aren't an actual food. I didn't think they would be. Turn it into animal feed to burn it. In the event that we get an excess amount of everything. I actually didn't want you to open that. I wanted you to take me to the ship. There's probably a hotkey that'll let me do that. Because it needs repairs. I do believe we're going to get better guns soon. Oh no. Better guns is a long way off. That said, we have been delayed by a large amount of time while we fixed our population issues, or moved homes and moved all manner of things around into something more of a final state that we can expand from. Okay. Can I get you to munch on this bit a bit more? I mean, it's almost all the way down. It's getting there. I'm going to ask you to dig the ones nearer here. Because from a personal perspective, I'd like to know whether or not we're going to run the risk of knocking this wall down by mistake. But I'd like to get this bit dug out so that we can then re-flatten it, so that we can, when we have access to it, expand this and build another one. Is what I would like to do. Okay, steel smelting is almost done, so let's just confirm the chain here. So we did an oxygen furnace to take molten iron, oxygen to turn it to molten steel and exhaust. Use the air separator to get the oxygen. And then a cooled caster is required to cool it down, so it does need water as well. So that means we need to copy everything up to here. I would a little prefer it to be somewhere nearby. We're not going to be expanding that anymore. We can't build up here because all of that is coal. I'm probably going to move the farm up there. Okay, that's the research done. Let's pause for a moment. Yeah, if we want to put it in line with that. So it's a nice straight line there. I think that moved up. We don't have to have the casting stuff right next to it. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So that's fine. That gets us our molten iron all onto here. Although we might want to adjust this. What's the throughput of a molten channel? 120 every 60 seconds. Okay, so 1 is enough to carry the entire output of all of these, even while boosted. Steel smelting. Let's get this one going next. Then this one. Then advanced conveyor belts, I think. Then recycling. So we'll queue those up. Backup power generator. We could get rid of the 3 that we have and just, or the 3 backups that we have and just use that instead. wish it told me how much Unity they would cost. Okay. Right. So speed of these is 24, it's 1-to-1. So we're going to need 60 oxygen a second, which comes from the air separator. Going to need 2 of them. I assume smokestack can get rid of nitrogen. This doesn't need any resources, it's just power and manpower. Yep. I'm not necessarily going to keep it laid out like this, I'm just figuring out where everything needs to go. Cooled caster. Okay, so we once again need 6 of these in order to keep up with full throughputs. Why does that seem wider than these? Yeah, they're not, they just seemed wider while it was positioned that way round. I am not opposed to this layout. We are going to need water as well, which we can put here. Pipe it down. Standard pipe would do it. That bridge isn't big enough if we wanted to pipe the water all the way from over here, though. But we could always bring that water underneath this bridge if we wanted to. Just to save on the trucks. No, we won't do it that way. If we had 4 of them, then I would do. I think instead we'll just space them out 1 further. Okay, gonna want a molten balancer again. In fact, let me steal... It's gonna get more than I need, but that's fine. That didn't get the balancer. There we go. Let's pinch this. And then delete the stuff that we don't want. Ah, right, yeah, they have a fluid input. Okay, we would have to redo all of this anyway. We can't just copy. Okay, still want a molten balancer though. Pull it back a little bit. Okay, and that'll leave space to get the water in. Okay, we don't want 3 separate outputs from here. We actually only want the one. In fact, do we want to keep the balancer? We should probably keep the balancer, actually, yeah. Actually, no, we don't need to keep the balancer. Not here. We should have the balancer going into each of these so that it tries to make sure it gets split into 3. But the outputs of these are 24 each, so 72 total, and the molten channel can carry 120. So we just need to merge the 3 channels. Move it from here, bring it out, bring it along. We'll put the balancer here. I think I'll move this lot over left a little bit because we're going to want to feed the steel into these eventually. In fact, we'll want to feed the steel directly into this and then disconnect this line here. So we can connect the steel into there, that'll then balance it out between all of these. And then we can swap over those to use steel once we have the next tier of construction up. Okay. So yeah, let's move this over to give it a little bit more room. How many of these spaces can we build on? Okay. There's enough room there to get things around. These molten channels can just be merged into one, so let's take it from the top. Okay. We'll have to run the oxygen through a balancer to make sure that they get to where they need to. The two nitrogens can just be merged into a single tier 2 pipe. Nitrogen will have to go up to a height of 2. That's the oxygen. And now we need the nitrogen vents. Rotate nitrogen to a height of 2. Actually, before we connect that, let's figure out exactly where we're going to put this. I think if we put it there, it's going to have the most accessibility for all of its ports. Okay, that's all of those connected up. Okay. That's the vents for all of those. I'm going to have to redo most of that pipe that we just laid down, because this needs to be a tier 2 pipe. Yeah. So that's getting rid of the nitrogen. Out of interest, we're going to need nitrogen for something eventually. Is it worth me stockpiling it? Can we even stockpile it? I suppose is another good question. Do we have a means of storing gases? Okay, it's going to be used to make ammonia eventually. Or broken down from ammonia. Okay, it can store nitrogen. If we need to, we will make adjustments to allow it to store nitrogen at later dates. Now, what about the water? I am really tempted to actually just pipe the water from over here. And then subsequently pull it off of here instead. Six, 18. It's another 3. So one small pipe from there would still be enough. If we need more of these, we can build them that way. Given the fact we have this stored here. In fact, how far away are we from copper refinement? Requires acid. We do get more out of it. So that would increase production. Not that we can only need an increase in production, but I imagine we're going to. Glass, plastics, copper, PCBs. That's a lot of copper. Why is that not wire? Raw copper rather than wire. So we are going to need a lot more copper later, but we don't need it at the moment. Is this made in the same plant? Yeah, it's still copper electrolyzer. So we don't need to build anything more, it's just we're going to change what the liquid input is. We don't have access to acid yet, but what else is acid used for? So our water and steam will get us sulfur and ammonia. We have a world mine that has sulfur on it. We just don't have the logistics capability to put it down anywhere. Okay, so making acid is actually going to increase water usage. Unless it's using the same amount of acid to make... Okay. Minor reduction in water usage, actually. I assume ammonia can probably be burnt in a combustion generator? No? I don't have access to acid yet, so it's not listed in recipes. And can I click it in here? No, I can't click it in here. Oh, I can right-click it in there. NEI rules. Gold ore. Crushed uranium ore. I don't think we have any uranium on this map. Gold we definitely have. It's just miles away. Hydrogen fluoride. Shit's gonna get so much more complicated later. Okay. So, acid is required for making of glass. Yeah, just in general, acid is required for the making of glass. Okay, not something to worry about at the time being. Yeah, I am. I'm going to take the water from here. We'll route it over to here. Do we actually want to go straight along this line? We could do if we shift that entire lot down towards us a little bit. Let me just take this straight away across. I do really wish that the limits of this size lined up as a multiple of its stanchion width. Yeah, let's just grab all of that. Move it down by 1. No, we need to be down by 2. Grab that, put you there. Clean up that bit. So the game recognizes it as a single object. Take the water pipe all the way over to here, and we go to here, then down, here, and then here. Okay. That should be steel production. No need to bring water over. Now, do we want to pre-start routing? Let's get this all into a storage container first, and then it can output from the storage container. Where's the middle of these things? technically there. And hello, Epic. That does not be rude. Okay, so all the steel goes into there, and then we can bring the steel back out. That actually works nicely well because that lines up with potentially a road we can add in here. We do need to then remember that we'll probably need to go over anything here. Now that's something I didn't consider. We are going to need to get this stuff into another assembler to make the next tier of construction materials. But we do need to get the steel back over to here to hook it into here to feed these. I believe all the construction materials on next tier of construction is literally just steel plus the previous tier, isn't it? Yes. So it'll be a flat balancer. How it's done over here, isn't it, more or less? Kind of. I think we're feeding that into the side, aren't we? Yeah. That is not a smooth way for you to path in. Try again. Okay. So we can take that out. Probably going to have to come... There's a space there. If we go one high, we can bring it straight the way along here if we need to. May have to move this forward a bit, because then we could bring it down here. I probably shouldn't have had these inputs on the inside, but it's fine so long as the trucks can still get to it, I suppose. If that's how we've done it, we may as well keep doing it that way. We don't have access to them yet. The layout of that slightly messes all of this up. We have more space down here, so... Actually, we have more space down here. We'll bring them along here, and we'll have to go have another bridge here somewhere. And we want the ability to get or belt all of this stuff out, so that'll give us room to expand as well. So we can bring the steel in from here. We can move this bridge down by 1 so that we can bring a line along here. Actually, no. The central route is there for a reason. So the steel can come along here. Do we need 1 belt of it or 2 belts of it then? So in assembly 3, it's going to use, call it 15, 30. 30 for these. 45 for that. And another 15 for that. So 1 belt will do it. We will have to split it, or we'll have to move where we're splitting it then. Unless I want to split it another time here. Let's get or unpause and start getting some of this built. We'll start with all the pipe work. And then we'll tell it to also build one of these, one of these, one of these, those two, and everything there. And we might as well get that online because it's not going to be too long till we're actually starting to make use of scrap. You got copied from there, so good. Good, you've got that as well. Just for when I unpause them, because we're not going to need them running. Not yet. It's this technology here, so it's a while yet, but I've got it roughly planned out. I'm probably going to have it processed up here, if not here. At least somewhere over here, because part of it's got to come from up here anyway. But most of it should come from these things and this thing. We'll figure out the specifics once we actually have access to the building. Okay. We should figure out exactly how we're going to do this first. Okay, we can get away with doing a basic splitter onto here. If we bring it along onto here, we'll reverse the direction of this. We can tear this bit down and then do another splitter there. I don't think compression for scrap is nearby. Oh no, the compactor is directly after it. And then run that through a shredder. Oh, and that's where we get our tree sapling recyclables. Okay, yeah, so what we'll do is we'll bring the belt along here, we'll connect it to here, and then we'll flip this belt so it goes the other way. Connect it, or we'll delete these ones here, connect it to here, split off from here, because that will halve the throughput here and then halve the throughput again there. So that'll send 30 both directions. These are using 12 each, we're rounding up to 15. This one will use another 15, these two use another 15, so we come down to here, we split again, and then we bring it out and under, and into here. So that's how that gets sorted. Do I want to block these guys off from being able to drive through there? Yes, they have roads they can use. They have roads and bridges they can use. They don't need to be using this stuff. Hopefully that belt keeps running. I would wait, given how long, well, I'm not exactly fast at these games. I like to take my time and think things through rather than just like build and exponentially increase. So I play these slower. But given how long I'm taking to get through this, I am not expecting to get to the end of this tree by the time the next patch comes out. So unless you're going to play it heavily, I'd wait till the next patch. Don't burn yourself out too soon. Okay, so this will be steel. So under no circumstances should we turn on this flat belt until we have replaced the steel. Then that'll make us our freeze. Actually, yeah, if we need to be up at level 2 for this, we may as well come straight up to level 2. And then this will almost connect straight in, I think. Yeah, and then we connect it straight into that. Oh, that's running. It may not have had enough stuff to actually start producing yet, but that's fine. Water's here. Everything's been built. We're just waiting for... Yeah. We're just waiting for the first bits of materials to come in. Nope, there is method to this madness. Basically, this line here is feeding explicitly at the minute, or this belt here is explicitly feeding iron into machine parts, or mechanical parts. We're going to start making all mechanical parts with steel, because it saves on iron significantly. So what we'll end up doing is we will kill the output of this. So I will break that square here. I'll allow the belt to empty. And once the belt is empty, then we'll delete all of that. This gets flipped. This gets connected. And then steel starts coming along down here, which will also then get us our construction free materials. Method to the madness. There is a plan. Okay, so I think that's everything prepped. I don't know. I just checked. I was wondering whether or not I could make machine parts more efficiently just because they cost so damn much in terms of the iron. I can't remember whether I did it through here or whether I was looking through the construction thing. Maintenance machine parts. But yeah, you can make it with steel. And strictly speaking, it costs basically half as much. So it could be a new recipe since you last played, but it's in this update version of the game. You may have just missed it because there is a lot of stuff in here. Yeah, there's iron, there's steel. They look very similar. Okay, we probably have the resources to finish building the rest of these. You're still waiting to get... Oh, your exhaust isn't going anywhere. Now, how the hell did that happen? I must not have bandboxed the right area. That's all fine. That's all fine. Everything else looks like it's been built. Yeah. For the sake of getting this running, and because it costs nothing to do. It's our population. Okay, don't need to worry about it at the minute. That entire area should be flat. Given how little's down there and how far down that is, I don't think that's worth it. I think we just leave all of this stuff. We'll dig along here to see whether or not we can actually get to it. But I suspect we can't, so let's not worry about that and let's just continue along with the idea that well, that's what you get, vehicles, to creating paths that I don't want you to create. You get all confused. How much of this area isn't flattened? Most of it should be. not all of it. Okay, that area over there hasn't been yet. And yeah, I suspected that that area up there hasn't been. Yes, you are right. And there's a button for that. Although it does cost Unity. So there's not really any point in removing them manually. Yeah, because of those, I think we move this out one more. This one, corner. Decorating with trees might be a way to stop the vehicles from trying to path straight the way through here. Either that, or I'm just going to create a pipework fence around the place. So I am building you a concrete road very, very slowly because I don't have the vehicles to deal with the throughput. But use the goddamn road! Okay, it's going to be a while until any of this becomes relevant, but touch wood, that will at least stop them from trying to take that path. And it gives me an idea as to warding off the rest of this, because this is a nice flat buildable area. Seems a shame to not protect it, even if we don't need to at the moment. How are you going? You've done that bit, we need you to do this bit, so yeah, that's fine. There's real barriers? My god, there's real barriers. That will help. Force them onto the damn roads. I've got to imagine that but the roads don't make them move faster. I was going to say, I've got to imagine they're using some sort of like A-star pathing algorithm, but the roads reduce maintenance, they don't increase speed. Okay, let's remove the recipes from these. Build that part of it. Hang on a second. We missed a bit. There we go. Unpause this bit. Don't unpause that bit yet. We can unpause all of that. Unpause these. And we can't unpause that. Let's unpause that one. Okay, that'll unpause itself. That's all one thing, so I don't need to worry about that. We can unpause that when we're ready. Why has the steel only just started coming through? I suppose it's been filling up these this pipe work here. Now it's keeping up, basically. Yeah, one of these could, in theory, supply 2 of these, but we've ended up, or we decided to go for a 3-way system. Okay, let's speed things up again. Yeah, the amount of iron is not the problem. The problem is the throughput of our vehicles. You're repaired. We can send you back out again. Is there a nearer enemy that we can send you after? No, not really. I'm going to send you after one. No, let's explore out over there first. Yes. You don't have quick trades, you just have contracts. And while we can trade for glass, you don't have a contract for glass. I have read the patch notes a little bit closer now, and they are in fact moving glass to before large vehicles. In the next update, we still have to deal with it this way for now. There's glass making. Yeah, but the way I understood loaning it is you're supposed to give them back the resource you're loaning. Or they're loaning you. Yeah, you need to pay back the material making, so you would need to get to glass anyway. Set the loan duration, set the minimum annual payment. You can always repay back your loan earlier. I suspect it's going to be way more than 10 years before we actually have access to glass. Now, what I need is, which is why I've adjusted where these guys are digging. I need another one of these so that I can set up a cargo route, because I think, unless I misinterpreted something, all of these trades, you should in theory be able to set up a cargo run for them. Ship is in battle. That probably means that they won. And it didn't tell me what resources it got from it. What resources are on board? Copper, rubber, scrap iron. Nothing really worth it. Oh, it's the contracts that go for the cargo port. Okay. Which probably means I'm going to need to expand out the one that's currently offering us glass in the hope they give us more contracts. Or try and find another some more places and see if we can't find a contract for glass. Okay, construction is done. There we go. So we can set this to this. Set this to this. These will be that. Copy paste because I just remembered I can do that. Add in this. We do, or in order to use steel, we would need to upgrade these. They would need to be the next tier up to use steel. And that's a problem. Okay. Unpause this for now. Allow importing in of steel. We can sort out the belt later, but we're going to need to upgrade this to the next tier first. And that requires construction 3. So yeah, we'll need to upgrade this, this, and this. When we do, we can then temporarily turn this one off. That one can be upgraded even though we're not currently using it. And that'll give us... Oh, we are getting close to maximum usage. But then those two will then feed these two. So we will have twice the maintenance when we require it. Let's give you a higher priority because I would like to get this done so that we can get the belt up and running and start reducing our iron consumption. $12 becomes 6. So yeah, 1 to 1 to 1. And it's double again. Slightly cheaper on power than having twice as many. Maintenance is equivalent than having twice as many, and doesn't require as much staff than having twice as many. Not like we're using the full throughput at the minute, but having it available is nice. Okay. Can I do some reordering on this? We can, that's nice. I was unaware. I suppose I should probably include corn. How many can we pin? Where's bread? I mean, really, I can just look up here to see how much food we have remaining. But I'd like to make sure that everything is being fed correctly. It's alphabetical. Why am I struggling to find things? Oh! It has changed how it displays. That being the case, I might just put everything on there then. Because we have the space. Everything that's worthwhile to be put on, I should say. Crude oil. Is copper on there? Copper is not on there. Electronics. Rubber. Vehicle parts isn't really that important. Might as well keep track of water. It's it's spread all over the place, so it's not that useful a metric to know, but let's keep track of all our ores. So we can see if actual production of them is way lower than it needs to be. Limestone as well. If I had known that this started stacking up like this, I would have done this earlier. Because it's all the way over there on the right-hand screen. It's not in the way, so I can quite happily have it as large as I want it to be. I would still prefer to be able to just pin this window on this screen, but you can't have everything. We actually don't need to keep track of bricks anymore. We're not producing them, we're not using them. And we don't have an excess of cement, but can I right-click this to go to... I can. Is cement used for anything other than bricks? No, so I've no need to know how much it is. If we're running out of bricks, we may be running out of cement. We can figure out the rest from there. Okay. Anything else that I want to keep on here? Let's keep an eye on fertilizer. The molten stuff isn't helpful. Mechanical parts. Which is just our backup storage. Okay, that'll do for now. I know I'm going to need more iron eventually. And if I need it anytime soon, I can always just overclock this. Okay, so we are struggling on people bringing the iron over. That's fine. That is enough to upgrade one of these. I'll wait until we have 75 so we actually have enough to upgrade all of them. Okay, we need to give this a higher input priority. To be fair, I'm not actually expecting it to solve it, but it is going to reduce the amount we're consuming immensely. Because at the minute we consume 45 from these machines alone. And this is only producing 60. So without them running, then our ability to expand this becomes significantly higher. Okay, Repair it. Okay, we got 40. What's our stockpile? We can make do with actually just having 50 of them. Okay. Upgrade that. With that being upgraded, we can now... Where is it? Oh, it hasn't registered. It needs to be it actually needs to be finished upgrading first. Can I put a priority in this? I mean, I could rush it. Yeah, we have it. Okay, good. That up and running. We turn on steel. We allow it to use what iron it's getting first. We invert the direction of this belt. We do not need this belt anymore. We can now activate the construction of this belt. Upgrade that, instantly deliver it. Get rid of that. Actually, I'll allow them to pick that up because they've still got to build the rest of this. Okay. Right, you're now out of iron, so turn that off, turn that one on. We can get rid of the iron in there now. Turn that one off, get rid of the iron. Let's pull it back by one. Feed that into there. Load it immediately. Here comes the steel. Ship is fully repaired. Large vehicles are ready. Now, I am surprised that only costs those to upgrade. We don't have the materials in a minute. Although we don't need to wait, so it can go. Let's just immediately deliver that. Okay. Right. I don't need you importing anymore. You're now fully supplied, because strictly speaking you get enough for both of these, but we don't have the materials to upgrade the other one yet. I'm hoping I can just push a button and upgrade one to the others. Because given how many quality of life things this game has, having to find every single vehicle, click it and tell it to upgrade, I don't think they would have done that. I think there's literally going to be a button saying upgrade these to these. Or potentially decommission these and replace them with these, or something along those lines. Oh, I got this wrong. One of these feeds one of these. So this setup is entirely unnecessary. I'm making 12 per minute. This thing over here consumes 12 per minute, so we do need to increase production. Ah, yeah, that's right. So this is wrong. Actually, no, it's still 1 to 1 to 1. Yeah, one of these feeds one of these. One of these feeds two of these. And then one of these feeds one of these. So it's not as much as a reduction in steel as I thought it was going, or iron as I thought it was going to be. We need these two online. And then this is too much. But I suppose we can leave them anyway, because what we can do instead is, if we need more throughput, we can push the button on all of these, and then those will be fine. Yeah, we're going to need these online and running. Otherwise, we are not going to make enough maintenance. Yeah, I thought this converted 1 to 1 as well, but it converts 2 to 1, which is why I built this up with 6. Now, why did I think it was that way round? Don't know. I must have. I just misread it. But we can always build a second one of these and mirror it over here if we need to. If we actually want a double steel production. We need to pause you so that these things can build that. I know we're going to be able to get iron more efficiently later anyway. Advanced smelting, I believe, will give us a better efficiency for iron and the like. Or does it just double the speed? Blast furnace, blast furnace. Oh no, it's always 1 to 1. Yeah, so there is no efficiency from that perspective, it's just less buildings required to produce the same amount. It's a speed increase. Oh, was there? Did I miss that? Ah, yes, this one here. Crushed ore plus limestone. Ways off that yet. Okay, let's get that delivered, because again, we are eating into our excess supply. Ah, yes, I forgot I needed to set that up as well. That is going to be a pain. Okay, so it doesn't... I suppose that's one reasonable way of doing it. It would just be nice if I could push a button and have it all done at the same time. Or at least queue them all up. Okay, so we do need to get the next type of vehicle construction parts. Steel, glass, vehicle parts. Assembly free, exclusively. I already have steel coming over to here. So we can just fork off that. Glass is probably going to be made from sand. Sand is right here, so... What is the actual recipe for glass? We can't make it at the minute, but... mixer, glass maker. Salt. Salt production. Evaporation pond. Heated. What's the betting that brine is used to make lithium? No, just chlorine. Lithium isn't in here, at least. Doesn't appear to be. Fair enough. So yeah, acid just makes more of it. Mix it in a blast furnace with coals, make molten glass and slag. Take it to a glass thing. Okay, so it's functionally like any other ore, with the exception that you need to mix the ore yourself. And the salt is required. So glass production can come over here. Okay, so steel's already coming over. We're going to need to bring engine parts over. We have plenty of space. We just need to figure out the routing. Bring it out of here. Underneath here. I have a feeling we're going to need to upgrade this bridge eventually. Steel is on the lowest rung anyway, so in fact, if we bring you to here, then bring you down. And you can go into there, pull the steel off there, bring the glass around here. I mean, vehicle parts are the one thing that we're never constantly using them. Is that something that's going to change? I suppose is a reasonable question. Nope, it's only used in vehicle parts. So if that's the case, then I am happy with just the one production building. And we'll just upgrade or boost the production building as and when we need it. Okay, you're stable. We should be getting... Okay, that's good. I was going to say, we should be getting to a point where the steel should be backlogging at least some amount. We're producing twice as much as we need for over there. Okay, I'll bring next tier vehicle parts online. Let's get the rest of this online. We have the spare workers and power. Apologies if you've been hearing an echo, some kind of echo from the music in the game. I apparently forgot to turn the speakers off. They weren't particularly loud though. This thing has manual inputs now. Actually, the rubber would want to come out of this end anyway. Kind of makes me want to move this forward slightly. And the game itself isn't particularly loud, it's all interface noises. Oh. Now how has that happened? No one delivering them? Or problems? No one delivering them is the reason. I highly doubt the production isn't enough. They're just not getting it down there. Unless for some reason these aren't getting the materials they need. I kind of want there to be a follow button. Is there a follow button? I haven't actually looked at all the controls. Move camera, save camera positions. Free look. There is not a follow camera. Or at least not in the camera tools. Can't imagine it would be anywhere else other than the camera tools. Nope. Follow camera would be nice. I didn't see one. Recover. That allows me to tell it where to go. There we go, there is. There's just not a key binding for it. I figured it'd be strange if there wasn't one. Yeah, we need bigger trucks to be able to shift these resources around from all the way over there. This is important because now we're running out of basic construction materials. I think once this is built, no, because we're going to need this for glass. We could assign trucks specifically to it. has this emptied out? Yep. Still got way more, way too much copper. Okay, we may need to actually upgrade our oil rig. Why is it going from level 2 to level 4? What happened to level 3? Because it's not quite producing enough to keep up, or at least it doesn't appear to be anymore. Providing increased storage and refueling rate compared to the previous tier. Where is it? It's going to use more power, that will. Thermal storage. Interesting. What's that take? Paper and steel. Biofuel is not biodiesel, apparently. That's the thing I was looking for. Got a fair ways to go to get to it. And we would need to upgrade our laboratory. Okay, it is starting to pull close to the wall. It isn't pulling from the wall yet. So I think it will get down to the depth that I need it to. Or I want it to. And you are about done over here. Figured you might be. Although that is now fully supplied. Go up and running. Let's pause you then for the time being. We have 20. 20 is enough for our first lot of glass. Okay, how many are we looking to get out of this? Twice as much as we have glass. So we bought 40 glass, we're going to get 80. Although I don't think 80 is a divisible of 6, so I don't think we will get that many. In theory, 2 vehicles per load of glass. And what I will probably do you, sir, can be the first to be upgraded. Same with whichever one. Oh, we have a couple of vehicles in this. That vehicle will have the privilege of being the first. Okay. Oh, bollocks. Since when did we get tier 2 conveyor? I didn't realize that research had been made. Well, shoot. I don't like that. Now that I look at it, I don't like that the better one is first. I would prefer the weaker one to be first. I'm going to have to disassemble this entire belt, because I don't think there's a downgrade button, and would have to finish building it first. It does not need to be this fast. It wasn't an upgrade. That was the problem. The actual construction order was for tier 2, which I didn't realize I had done. But that'll give us back some spare tier 2 materials once the game figures out where the hell it puts some of them. I should have cancelled the construction rather than manually disassemble it, but it doesn't matter. Okay, that produces at 6. This consumes at 6, so we only need 1. So we don't ever need to upgrade these. Okay, let's unpause this so we can get some more glass. Figure out where else we can fix our or reduce our truck usage. Where else has allocated trucks that could definitely use? Available to assign to mining operation, assigned to tree harvesting. I think it's just the ones assigned to buildings more than anything else. I wonder if that includes these ones. Probably does. These ones don't need to be improved. So we'll get the one assigned to coal next, which would be these two. Although they're kind of making do as it is. Excavators are twice as expensive. And will cost steel. Our ability to dig is not the problem. Our allocated space to dig might be a little bit of a problem, but that's a me problem. There, that's what I'm after. Okay. You should all be done. Good. Actually, we don't need to worry about this anymore. We've already provided them a route around. So we only need to care about where there is actually minerals. Which, to be fair, is going to be over here as well. But we can always just, yeah, we can double back on that. You can... Okay, that's fine. Ah, damn it, these are tier 2 belts as well. Can we not downgrade? These do not need to be tier 2. No, we're just going to have to wait for them to empty. And then tear them apart manually. These ones I can just rip up now. As you know, we'll wait until this load is done. This bit we can replace. Quick remove. Immediately build that. Okay, we have sufficient resources for another load of glass. Let other things pick this stuff up. Okay, recycling is the last thing we had queued, isn't it? Yes. We could grab the compactor. It would help us bring recyclables from... Actually... No, it would all be linked up here. I imagine the waste site over at our population centre, our town, is going to start outputting recyclables. Let's queue up the compactor. So we can compact the recyclables that are up there and bring them over here, because it has a lot longer or further to go. And then after that is done, let's get enhanced backup power. I can't be bothered to wait. Hopefully that hasn't deleted the glass. Let's get this going again. There we go. Oh, tree harvesters are done. They've done a good job. Could send you over to here. We have... If I unpause this, then will an unallocated tree harvester come over here to pick it up? Yep, off they go. I don't feel like I need to cut down any additional trees for the time being. I went a bit too hammered this area here. I didn't need to clear all of this down. Yeah, most stuff does seem to get to the centre of the port, but I don't know how reliable that is. Okay. Where are the trucks assigned to this? You're supposed to highlight it. There we go, found you. Are you the other one assigned to it? You are. You two get upgrades. Are there any others that... it's worth assigning a truck to? Or a bigger truck to? No, I think we just start queuing up, replacing some of those. I'm okay to build another 5 of these, I think. Get some of them on the road and ready to roll. And then I'll leave the remaining capacity. I'll start upgrading the rest of them one by one as I go out, catch them. You have no fuel. Oh, they must have gone to refill the thing. Oh no! We accidentally unallocated something from it. Oh wait, no, that's the wrong thing. Yeah, you have an allocation. What the devil are you doing all the way over here? I can't see why, because this is allocated specifically to the mining control tower, so the only thing it should be refueling is these guys. Or the vehicles associated with this area. At least that's what I assumed that's supposed to do. Each one of these should be assigned to the local control tower. Okay, you've still got plenty left to dig. I'm not worried about resources at the moment. And you're merrily chugging away. That belt is full. Okay. We can start thinking about recycling next. So that's a belt of recyclables. This is going to be the output for recyclables here. Not what I'm trying to copy, try again. What was the 18 apiece? So even if we do eventually get this all up and running, one is all we need. Swine. There is one piece of iron blocking the thing. Just the one. It's a good job that didn't happen up here. Yeah, that's both steel waiting to go in. Well, in this case, it's saying that the export route for this is all the fuel should go towards this, which one would assume means this should fuel everything associated with that. What did the actual documentation say? Custom routes can be used to assign a fuel station to a mining control tower to specifically specify fueling preferences for trucks and excavators. Okay, So it will still fuel other things. It will just prioritize the control tower. Yep. We have a big truck. We probably only need the one big truck on this now. I'll leave both of them on for the time being. Just because one of these export destinations is a long-ass way away. Oh. And something out, or they've not managed to empty out this yet. Quick remove. If I do that, then it's just going to get thrown into there. I'm happy to leave that there until we need the space for something else. Okay, wood's fine. Water's keeping up. Buy some more glass. I'll get rid of it quicker. I think if one of these gets more full than the other, I don't mind. Let's set... we haven't... Oh, there we go. There's one available. Let's assign one of these, and we'll tell it to export from here to here or here. Even if the other, or we shouldn't need to set one to both, even though we have two storage over there, because the other one will eventually get full if nothing's pulling from it. So eventually the splitter will self-balance itself to go left again, or go right again. Okay, all of that looks fine. We are low in electronics. Are we underproducing them? 12. Ah, yes, we do need to actually turn both of these on now. And before we run out of people space, get myself some more unity. This has actually maintained a balance. I mean, we're breaking that balance now because we're reducing the amount of food that we're producing, but we actually should keep an eye on our food levels. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to steadily start going down. We shouldn't need to do that anywhere else. These two are the most active ones. Was there anywhere else where I figured we needed a more throughput than we currently had? Recycling is ready. Let's pause because that is potentially going to cause a lot of things to stop working. Okay. This one we don't have to turn on recyclables yet. This just automatically turns on, that's okay. And I assume... Okay, I was assuming that this was supposed to start producing more producing recyclables rather than just waste. Where is buildings? It is a separate building. Oh, it's all the way over here. Okay. It's a long way away until we need to worry about that then. Biomass collection. Sugarcane. That's just production, more biomass. Okay. Biomass production. There. Or maybe not. Biomass to compost. It's going to depend upon how much biomass it ends up producing. I don't suppose it can tell me without being built first. No. That number has gone down. Okay, so long as these two numbers aren't meeting, then that's fine. Potatoes. Okay, that's fine. Don't need to worry about those. Bread, in theory, we're producing twice as much as we need. Not corn. Corn should be okay for a decent while yet. Bread. Bread, we might need to start turning on additional production. How many kind of food types are there? 1, 2, 3. So we need 4 more of these unless there is a bigger version of the food market. Nope, food market 2 is as big as it gets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, which means this can go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we can get enough food through there, so we can bring this back through here. I'm assuming biomass is probably loose storage. Do we turn it into compost first, or do we turn it into fuel first? We turn it into compost first. Okay. How and where do we go from here? I think we go up 2 levels, if we can. Okay, we go up 1 level, then we go up another level. Oh, I thought that was, oh, that pipe was at level 3. Okay, that's fine then. We bring this along with a pipe. Bring it to... There is the return lines to here. Now we bring it up to level 2. Don't know whether biomass needs its own line, but it's going to depend upon how much it produces or how much they produce. Okay, let's take you to there and pin you. Here's the mixer we need for this. May need to... no, we can get this to work. Okay, we're gonna need to destroy this lot. You are... yeah, we did make the right tier tier thing. This lot can be built as well. Okay, unpause it, or pause it again. U-shape balancer. For now, that can go here. That goes in there. That goes in there. That goes in there. And then you prioritize input from that. There we go. And then we will request it to be emptied if it gets too much. And anything that's remaining, we're going to need to bring down here and feed into this. We won't worry about it at the minute. We'll see whether or not we do continue to make more biomass than we're using. And if we are, we'll bring it down here. And throw it in the boiler. We'll need to replace this bit here so we can put a splitter into it. And have the splitter prioritize output in biomass. We can put put this down here, route it through the middle of those, because they go up 2, don't they? Yeah. So we can bring it up 1, or rather under here, up 1, back down here, into the splitter here. Well, actually, we could put the splitter here, or the balancer rather, put it there, and then we can just connect directly into it. That works. Okay. You're still waiting on more vehicle parts, just because that's how long it takes. We have some spare Unity. Let's give this a boost. Just so that this can get running again, let's do this bit. Don't want that blocking off or blocking things off if it doesn't need to. Good. Excess food is making it over there. That probably needs, yeah, a bit more construction parts. I am humming at my throat. So as I've mentioned, typically at the start of the streams this week, I've had a sore throat or some sort of mouth or something. I can see what basically looks like a divot that was full of pus at the back of my mouth, not on my throat, but it feels like my throat. I was expecting it during the week to cause me issues while talking while streaming, and it hasn't done. And it's been feeling better today, but now talking is actually making it feel a little worse. I can feel just a constant soreness rather than a pain when I swallow, which is what I've been having all week. I think it's healing. I think it's just for whatever reason talking is actually causing me grief this time around. To which end I will have to consider ending the stream early at the break time. Because the last thing I want to do is aggravate it, particularly if it is getting better. I'm not entirely sure what it was, whether it was an infection or something, but I have to be mindful, Control tower has no place to dump. It's because that is full. Oh, because that is full. Fair enough. I have to be mindful of any kind of niggles. Not just because I'm getting old. I am 40. But because of my Crohn's disease and the fact that I'm on immunosuppressants. So my body is nowhere near as good, or in theory, is nowhere near as good in fighting infections as it used to be. So I should expect to get ill more often. As it happens, this is the first thing that's happened that has given indication that... Actually, no, second thing. Because we did get a subdermal infection of the foot. We still don't know what caused that, but our foot decided to swell up like a balloon. We could see a puncture mark, but I never felt anything bite me. So yeah, I need to be careful in case I do get any kind of infection, because I cannot fight them off as well as I used to be able to. And we forgot we need to be getting this sorted. Right, how big are you? Oh, you're just basically an ore sorting plant. Scrap goes in... Oh, you can take crushed scrap. If it can take it crushed, I don't see any reason not to just always crush it. Small excavator is out of fuel again. Is that because... Oh, it's a different one this time around. Where's your fuel buddy? Here's your fuel buddy. Are you too busy? No, two of them just ran out of fuel at the same time. Okay. Is this also going to return glass scrap? Does the scrap know what it's made of? It does not relate to the efficiency of this sorting plant, instead defines how efficient your island converts waste into recyclables. So for instance, 40% efficiency means that 40% of the iron used in maintenance ends up in recyclables. That would imply the scrap knows what it's made of. Oh, improved concrete mixer. I forgot we got that. Okay, so we don't need to actually worry about the things that we're not scrapping at the minute. It's good to know. Okay. I mean, a bunch of the scrap we're making over here, we could just belt straight in. We don't need to worry about compressing it and bringing it over. Oh, all the scrap comes out of one pipe. And so therefore needs to be filtered. That's fine, that's easy enough to do. How fast is this, though? I didn't realise it cost that many parts. Okay, we may as well just let things run for the time being. We ain't going to be able to build this anytime soon. We can still plan it out, though. Okay, yeah, we'll have that there. if we ever need a second one, we can put it there. Okay, yeah, it says their consumption 144 per 60 seconds. And in theory, this is going to produce 18. That'll also produce 18. This is producing 4. So we've got a ways off until we're going to need a second one. We can get away with a single U-shaped belt. And we can just belt it all straight in. We just got to figure out the route. So we don't need this. Let's get rid of those for as well now. And we can reverse the direction of this. Can we rotate a building that's being constructed? No. We can temporarily belt out of here and back into itself. So we can reverse the direction of these. We can bring this along here. I think that bridge is going to need to be made bigger. We don't need to. No, we don't need to upgrade the bridge until we reach the point where the bridge isn't big enough. Then we'll upgrade the bridge. We still have room, so yeah, we'll bring that along here. Bring it underneath this one, under there. This can then come along here, connect up to it, go with it. Okay, plan. Let's start routing from here. I mean, I could just run it straight the way over in a straight line, but let's bring it up to and then run it closer towards the main bus. In fact, no, this is a scrap line, so we'll take it all the way up. Up 3. Over the top of everything. And then we'll have to bring it down underneath all of this, which is fine. I want these grid things to line up, but they don't line up anymore. Okay, bring it down to here. Bring it up to here. This is now basically full anyway, so we may as well plan this route. Comes up. Oh, that's actually a problem. Oh no, that's fine. I thought for a second there that I was also using this line, but no, we haven't started using this line yet. Ah, you bastard. Now, how am I going to do that? I think the better way to do it is just going to be... Oh, never mind. I see. I see it. I reckon we can do it this way instead. Might be wrong. We'll see. No! That wasn't what I was aiming at. We are out of electronics. Why are we out of electronics? Oh, we're out of copper. What was we doing? Right. That goes that way into there, that goes that way into there, that goes that way into that. That goes off that way. There we go. That's all of that. And we apparently still have a lot of copper around. Oh, that's why. If I do that, then a whole bunch of copper that's just sitting over at the shipyard will get brought over to here. Has that caused a problem up here yet? Yes, we are losing maintenance. So we are going to need to pause that belt for a while. Actually, no, we don't need to pause that belt. We can just boost production. There we go. Trucks are actually delivering the stuff that was clogging up this. Do you need repairs? Nope. There we go. You get it all? All gone? All gone. Right. Don't need to keep it full anymore. I'll let them finish importing whatever they have, but... no, we will let trucks deliver cargo there. I don't know why I turned that off. Same goes for that one. The road is ever so slowly getting built. I assume... Oh, they've caught up. In that case, congratulations. You can have an upgrade. Congratulations, you can have an upgrade. How many do we have? We can upgrade another 2. You, sir, can also have an upgrade. And you, sir, can have an upgrade. Gotcha. And that will cover basically, yeah, all of the glass we have. Or we've bought so far. And we need to stockpile stuff for the recycling. U-shaped sorter. What's the conversion rate? Of actual recyclables? Because it's the amount of recyclables is the recycling efficiency. But is it one recyclable that equals one of these? It must be. Because this is basically just a sorting plant, and that's how the sorting plant works. So the maximum output is going to be equivalent to the total number of maximum recyclables. So I am going to want to have 2 sets of sorters. Yeah, you can't set specific output types on that. So this is the only way to do it, really. Damn it, we can't select them yet. That's fine. They're there for futuring. Oh, so these don't have a speed limit, do they? Fair point. Yeah, there's no actual belt speed on it, and there's no faster versions of them, so yeah, that makes sense. They operate as fast as you provide them. Should still have enough space to do what I'm planning on doing. Basically, merge them in the center, bring them forward one, and then up and out in a direction. Admittedly, this is not as central as it could be. Let's squeeze these together a little. Okay, so they are going to need to come... We take this one this way and then up and out. Can you not? Okay, they actually need to be slightly further apart. To pull off what I'm trying to pull off. No, I don't want to use the list because we've got the space. It would have been fine like that, but we can do it this way instead. If they meet in the center now, I don't think if they meet in the center there's going to be... Yeah, no, that's fine. So we want to bring it over to here, out by one, and now that will go up. And then copy that. Mirror. Rotate. Okay, because this wants to go in here. But yeah, conveyor lifts would sort it. Would do what we do, the same thing. We have a space under here that we can actually bring that under. But can we get it back up again if we do bring it under? Okay, good. And then it can come around and into there. And then we're going to need to bring one of them, which we have the space here again. Bring that along here and into here. Save it from being trucked in. In all likelihood, I don't know. Actually, we don't need this last one. If we work on the assumption that this is glass, then gold comes out of here. And that being the case, we have more room to mess around with this. So, okay. I am okay in that case with grabbing this. Bring it over by one, and then along this way. Do I want to bring it straight away through the middle? We need to get it over to there. That's not very high. There we go. Bring it down to there. Bring it all the way down to the bottom there. Okay, that's copper. We're going to need to bring iron up one more. Bring it to here. we bring you back down? Good. Alright, it is trying to go over the top of that there. Okay, I'm happy with it going along there. Oh, we don't actually need to go up twice, we only need to go up once. Ah, but to get over the pipe, we need to go up again. Now we can come back down by one to here, and then down to the bottom and in. That is not a mess. That is actually quite neat. I'll take that. Now, why do you not want to pull out of this side? There we go. This is already too high, and we do need them to have access to that, so we do need to stay too high. Bring it to here, down and in. Okay. There we go. We have a long way to go until we actually have the parts to be able to produce this, but that's that sorted. Right, we are at break time, and I can still feel my throat tickling while I'm talking now. So I'm going to end the stream early today, just for safety's sake, so I don't hurt my voice or make whatever's wrong with my throat worse. So I will leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back again on Tuesday. Next Thursday stream I need to move, but I don't know if I'm going to move it to Wednesday or Friday. It'll probably depend upon how my throat is, because if it's not great, I'll need to go see the GP, or if it hasn't improved by Monday, I'll need to go see the GP and probably get some antibiotics or something. But I have a doctor's appointment on Thursday, so I need to move that stream one way or another. So that'll either be a day early or a day late. I'll decide that by Tuesday. Saturday should be the same as usual. But yeah, thank you again for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the show, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Cheerio.